Baby, it's bad out there. Say, what's in this drink? No cabs to be had out there. I wish I knew how. Your eyes are like starlight now. To break this spell, I'll take your hat, your hair looks swell. I ought to say, no, 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 sir. Mind if I move in closer? At least I'm gonna say that I tried. What's the sense in hurting my pride? I really can't stay. Oh, baby, don't hold out. Baby, it's cold outside. Welcome along to the Guy and Harley podcast. I am Guy Bigden.
And I'm Harley Neville. And was that a
That was a classic Christmas song, originally by Dean Martin, where he rapes a reluctant woman who does not want to stay over.
Yeah.
And that is a well celebrated. Well, in fact, I heard this on the radio.
Yeah.
Last night.
Right.
And I was like, this seems like in this era that we're in quite questionable.
It was a different time back then.
It was a much different time.
I was watching a World War II documentary the other day, and they were talking about after the Victory Day, after the victory was announced, that in New York, I think he was, they were saying you could go down the street and everybody was hugging and kissing, and this was like an old old man retelling his recollection of the day that it was announced, peace was announced, and he goes, you could just cop a feel whenever you wanted, and nobody would take a glance. And I was like, classic. It's a different time back then.
Yeah. So
the patriarchy was, in its prime.
It was, to me, this is really a quite disturbing lyrics if you really break them down.
Yeah.
So, but hey, it's a catchy Christmas jingle, and Dean Martin has a nice voice, so let's all get into the Christmas cheer and just not really think about it too much.
Well, it is Christmas. This is the Guy and Harley Christmas special. We have planned absolutely nothing special. We were going to do it on Christmas Day, drunk at Guy's house, which would have been cool. It would have been cool. But we opted to get it done and get it out of the way.
So we could drink in peace.
Exactly.
We could just drink in peace.
We could just drink and not have to leave the party.
Yeah.
Not that there's a big party planned, but there's an orphan's Christmas at Guy's house that I'll be attending with my hat in my hand, and after each taking of food, I'll say, "Please, sir, can I have some more?"
Well, it's funny because my girlfriend's like, you need to invite more people, and I'm like, babe,
this is everyone I know.
This is everybody that is a fucking loser that doesn't have a life. Most people have lives and family that they go to on Christmas. We're the outliers here.
Yeah.
So when you say like invite everyone, I literally invited my director of photography. He didn't even reply to me. I was like, hey, bro, like, obviously you're welcome to come over, you and the missus, like, didn't even reply.
Well, obviously.
You know why? Because he's got shit to do. He's going to be hanging out with his family.
Yeah. Well, also, you've misunderstood the relationship. You thought you guys were friends.
But it was strictly
this is a professional relationship.
Yeah.
Yes. So you've actually overstepped the mark a little bit.
I've overstepped my boundaries.
You have.
And
you've made it uncomfortable.
In fact, yeah, he's almost perhaps perceived this as I'm inviting them over for
an orgy.
Yes, exactly.
An orgy.
Some cuckolding or something.
Yeah.
And so he's really, that's why he doesn't even want to reply to it, because he's like, oh man, this is go way wrong.
Yeah.
There was no cuckolding to be had.
No. I
was purely out of the kindness of my heart that I did that, but no reply on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there's the thing, like, Orphans Christmas, that's what we're doing. But there's actually not that many orphans.
No.
So, the idea of like, let's invite everyone to all come.
We've solved that problem in the world. Orphans.
Yeah. So, but that's what we're doing for Christmas. Now, but this is the Christmas show. And I guess we should... What should we talk about first?
I really thought you were going somewhere.
Nah.
I thought you had something to talk about for a second. But it was good padding, mate.
Well, I do, actually. But maybe we should get into it later.
You want to warm up a little? Should we warm up a little?
Well, the Star Wars spoilers are abound.
I haven't seen Star Wars yet.
Oh, right.
But I did say no to a Marvel audition.
God, what is wrong with you?
Twice.
What
They
is
asked for me twice. I was
wrong?
like, get the fuck out of here.
You're like, look, I'm happy in my own little world, doing my podcast, not being successful, not having any money, not reaching my potential. You know what my girlfriend said to me the other day? This was literally, I was editing Immi the Vegan web series that we're working on, and I was editing you doing some stuff.
Yeah.
And she goes, why isn't Harley famous? Like, he's so funny. Why isn't he famous? And I'm like, well, it's a combination of factors, really. I mean, it's hard to pinpoint any one thing. But if I were to, I would say that, part of it, I was making excuses for you. I was like, well, part of it is, he doesn't really get those opportunities necessarily to show everyone. And it's like, but then you turn down starring opposite fucking Benedict Cumberbatch in the new Jane Campion film.
Yeah.
And you don't audition for it. And then you don't audition for a fucking Marvel film.
Yeah.
And then I go, well, actually, he's the architect of his own demise. He has, he's really could be doing a lot more, but these are the stories he tells us on this podcast.
Yeah, well, this one is like probably... I'd say the
on the scale of stupidity.
No, I'd say that the Benadryl Bumble match one was
a real faux pas.
No, I just didn't really feel like there was much chance of me getting that. This one, I feel like as well. Yeah, perfectly could have. This could have been me. I could see myself in that role. Yeah. Why not? What it was a driver who drives along. It's a funny scene. It's just one scene, and he's driving somewhere. And
comedy, your
talking.
Specialty.
It is comedy. Yep, it is comedy.
Comic timing, what you're actually really good at.
Yep. But here's the thing. Here's why I said no.
Your Achilles heel.
Here's why I said no. Here's the thing, right? They wanted firstly, it was a self-tape, right? Which means you've got to record it yourself. So you don't go in there. Right, so now you're doing a production. I know you're producing a short film. Okay, all right.
And you don't know anybody with camera gear.
Yeah,
and easy access to do some filming. You know no one at all like that.
And they want this tape by like the next morning. And I was like, and then it's American accent. So I was like, okay, cool. So I'm gonna have to go out and see Joss and work on my American accent with her and do a bunch of rehearsal and all that stuff, and then record this tape. And I got to kind of put down everything I'm doing right now and just run away and do that right now. And I was like, well, look, if they're that desperate that they're asking for Harley fucking Neville to send in a self-tape, they've obviously gone through all of the world's, all of the region's best actors, and if they still ain't found their guy, it ain't going to be fucking Harley Neville after all of those guys,
1,000,000% the wrong attitude.
With his, I'll be like, boy, I'm American.
They're looking for a new face. They're looking for a new dude to be the funny dude.
Yeah.
They're tired of all the dudes. They can't afford the top dudes. They need some guy, and you could be it.
Yeah.
And here you are. And in fact, if anything, that's more of a sign that you should have done it.
Yeah. Well,
and yet you took that as a sign not to do it.
Well, not only that, but so the next day they were like, well,
what's wrong with you?
They're like,
this is a Marvel film.
They're like, what if we extend it for another day so you can do it the next morning? As long as you get it in first thing the next morning. Mm. And I was like, oh, look, thanks, but no thanks. I was like, tell them thanks, but no thanks.
Yo, tell them I'm putting all my stock in the Pigville basket.
Yep.
And that's what, so I'm really relying on that to work out for me. And, sure, this might make, a lot of money and 1 million people see me and open up new options and I can do 1 million things with it. But I'd rather not. Thank you.
Basically.
Thank you for that. So,
look, this is really just a prime example, though, of the hunger dying. That's a prime example of the hunger dying. And it's sad.
Sure.
It's sad.
Yep.
It is. It's sad,
Yes.
But I do feel like I would have been much more inclined to do it had I been kind of keeping a bit busier. With the acting, I mean, specifically. If I've been acting. But it's like I haven't acted in anything since fucking Immi the Vegan.
You're semi-retired.
I haven't acted in anything. I've acted in, 3 little things for, Logan Marshall, occasional Sexy 160 listener. And some other little, tiny bits and pieces here maybe. But, I haven't acted in anything really since Immi the Vegan 2 years ago.
1 year ago.
1.5 years ago.
Mm.
So I'm feeling pretty rusty, you know. So I wasn't feeling like, oh, okay, ready. I'm just gonna jump in and do it. I was like,
Nothing ventured, nothing gained.
yeah, I know. This was the accent, really. If they were just like,
Your Achilles heel.
Yeah, if they're
an
like
accent that is not Kiwi or Australian.
Yeah, exactly.
Your Achilles heel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, definitely something that you should probably work on as an actor.
Well, that's the thing. It all takes time. It all takes
does.
energy. It all takes
Yeah.
motivation. And motivation is a magic power.
Yeah, I mean,
It gets shit done.
I know.
It's awesome when you can get it. When you can get that motivation. It's a fucking magic power. You can achieve anything you want in your life if you've got that motivation.
It's true.
But you got to get that motivation and you
Yeah.
got to maintain it somehow. And this
Yeah.
is the difficult bit. Sometimes it's like,
It's waning.
yeah, the muse just chooses not to cruise through.
Yeah. Is that a little quote from one of your poems?
Yeah, well, I've never used it on a specific poem, but yeah, more or less, just some little line that rhymes.
Yeah.
I like to slide them in
Brilliant.
sometimes.
Yeah, well, that's disappointing to hear, really. No, shit the bed on that one again. So, okay, next time my girlfriend asks me, I'll be like, well, he doesn't give a fuck. He's lazy. He's just lazy.
Lazy.
At the end of the day, he's just lazy and he's not trying anymore. That's why, in case you're wondering, that's your answer. So hopefully this Immi the vegan works out for him.
Well, do you think though, here's the thing. I think that I would have a lot more motivation and inspiration and all those things if the things I, am proud of had actually like come out, But that's the thing, there's not many things, Immi the vegan's not out and Older's not out and all that type of thing. So I don't really have anything at the moment where I'm like
to hang your hat on.
Yeah.
But you're the star of feature film I Survived a Zombie Holocaust.
Yeah, literally 10 years ago.
But only to you it's 10 years ago. To most people, it's only 5 years ago.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, look, I mean, I see the issue here.
Yeah.
And absolutely, that is, something that is a problem. Within the Pigville ecosystem of things taking too long to release, but we keep shooting new things.
Yeah, we do.
And then the old things are kind of really the whole problem is when we find our editor, the magic editor, the editor that edits our stuff, everything is going to change.
Yeah.
But until that time. And when editors don't quite make it, or they back out, or we can't find the right person, or an editor does a bad job, and then we have to fix it. That's a big problem, because that's me. And what I've been doing over the past little while. So since I stopped teaching at MIT, I've been working on Immi the Vegan, and I've been working on editing it, and it's a full-time job. And so if we're waiting for me to work on an edit 12 to 14 hours a day, in between my 3 jobs, plus whatever new project we're working on, we're creating a real problem, because that's the thing about editing. It just takes time. You just got to sit down and do it. There's no shortcut to it. There's no shortcut to doing a good job. You can't really do it. I mean, obviously, if you use shortcuts on the keyboard, you can get quicker at editing. But ultimately, you can't get that much quicker. You still have to put the scene together. You still You're right. Did you notice something there?
Well, one thing I noticed is that the microphone went quiet, but only on the live streams,
Okay.
not on the podcast itself.
So we're
Just on the live stream. So there's going to be a little gap in the live stream where you're talking and they can't hear you. But who knows how long that'll be.
good.
I don't. This is an issue I have with the software we're using, which means that I've got to continually have the OBS studio at the front, otherwise it goes silent. Anyway, nobody cares. Look, so
Well, I care about you not buying an extra monitor.
well, I am going to have to work on this. Yeah, look, there's a lot of things we could ask for money for at the moment. You know, one of them would be a big new desk and a new monitor for me in order to make the podcast better. You know, like a Joe Rogan type setup. Imagine if we had a Joe Rogan type setup.
Yeah.
That'd be mean. But the other thing would be, moving on, is that this Germany Film Festival, we are going to have the world premiere of I Survived a Zombie Holocaust is going to be on the 28th of, and we can announce this now because it's on their website.
World premiere of Older.
Oh, what did I say? Oh,
I Survived a Zombie Holocaust.
I mean, yeah, world premiere of Older is going to be on
You got your spiels mixed up.
January 28th in Germany.
Can we announce it now?
Well, it's on the website.
Oh, okay.
So I guess so. We probably should fucking announce it. It's like 3 weeks away. Same with, we've got to release No Caller ID. It's out there and we haven't told anybody. Yeah, so anyway, Older is going to be having its world premiere in Germany at a film festival called Snow Dance.
Yep.
And sadly, we are pretty unlikely to make it there.
Yep.
Right? You're not going?
No.
No, I'm not going. I would love to. It would be really, really, really fun, but it's just not financially viable at the time. At this time.
Anytime, that's the thing, like anytime you have to travel from New Zealand to a country, it's way more expensive than if you think about doing this from a normal country, because New Zealand is further away from everything than everywhere else. So, you know, if you have to go to Germany, it's like, cool, why are you guys shoot over? Well, we don't shoot over because it's like a 24-hour trip. And so that's kind of cost prohibitive and time prohibitive, because we also do have day jobs as well.
Yeah, so we won't be doing that. More bad news. I mean, if you're in Germany, go check it out. Go look up Snow Dance, and you'll be able to attend the world premiere of Older. Send us a picture.
Premiere of Older.
It's near Munich, somewhere near Munich. It's called like Leish something.
Landsberg?
Yeah, maybe. That sounds right. And so... more bad news. I applied for the script to screen strength in numbers. You're good. You good? That's gonna look real nice in their ears.
Just in a chip.
The script to screen strength in numbers thing was like a business course for 2020 when I had to attend a certain amount of workshops with kind of an elite few and kind of like learn some like business modes for like people that live and work in a creative industry. And so I applied for it, a reasonably big application, and did not get it. I got the news the other day that I did not get it. So
Well, what the fuck are they thinking?
I thought it was quite I was quite qualified.
Why would they not give that to you?
Well, especially because there's limited numbers. There's strength in numbers, but there's limited numbers.
There's limited numbers.
And you've got to be one of the numbers to get in.
To be strong.
Yeah, to be strong.
Otherwise you're weak. If you're not one of those...
If you're one of the few numbers...
You're very strong.
Then you're
but
strong.
If you're not one of those numbers, you remain weak on the outside of the industry.
Yeah. So that's what they mean when there's strength in numbers. So
what they mean when they mean strength in numbers is the elite few are strong.
Yeah.
The absolute elite are strong, while the common folk remain unstrong. Is what they mean with strength in numbers.
Shout out to Motherfucker Jones on the live stream.
Thank you, Motherfucker Jones.
We're doing an experiment.
Thank you for listening, Motherfucker Jones.
We're doing an experiment tonight where we're streaming on YouTube and Twitch at the same time, and it's all a bit new, and so there's been a couple of technical issues, but it's working, I think. Now I re-listened to a couple of episodes recently, and this show is pretty genius. It's one of the few things in life that makes me laugh out loud.
This is one of the few things now that generates joy.
In my life. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You go, I don't smile a lot anymore, and I don't laugh, but this makes me laugh.
It does. So I hope it brings as much joy to the listeners' lives as it does to mine. And so, yes, anyway, I did want to know, we spoke in one of the episodes asking, when you were talking about becoming a teacher for the first time, and I said that you were going to definitely end up playing I Survived a Zombie Holocaust one afternoon just to like kill some time. And you said, nah, it won't happen. You won't be able to do it. So did you?
I have not done it so far.
Okay.
But that's in the, like, to be honest, I do an episode of my class, where I play an episode of a TV show, which is an hour long, which basically takes up that class. But it's pertaining around the thing that we're talking about. It's a Black Mirror episode, and I watch it most of the time so I've seen it like 3 times, I think, and 4 times if you count all the times I've watched it. And it's a really good episode of Black Mirror. It's the one where I think it's from not the most recent season, but the prior season. And it's the one where the girl is trying to get her like ratings up enough
I know
to move into a new house.
Yeah.
And in fact, and we may have talked about it on the podcast before, but this is actually happening in China. There's a rating system.
Yeah. Well, have you seen my latest banner photo on Facebook? It's kind of along those lines. It's very Black Mirror-y.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I have not played I Survived a Zombie Holocaust, but I keep it in my back pocket. One time I was thinking of playing something, and then my errant student did not show up. So I was like, cool, well, I guess I will look, we've got Tyler Adams joining the maestro, VFX maestro.
Yeah, okay. So shout out to Tyler Adams and to Miralina Sarest. Now, but Miralina's on Twitch and Tyler's on YouTube, and all the comments are coming to the one place. And it's good. Life is good. So it looks like it all is working. So yeah, shout out Tyler.
So you're listening to episodes of our podcast. Was there anything more to contribute on that topic?
Just that they're really genius, and they really touched on a lot of kind of like quite important things. Like, for example, immediately prior to because in episode 136 was actually the episode surrounding the Christchurch shootings.
Yep, I remember that one.
And it was a good episode. And then I listened to episode 135, just ticked over onto the next one. So I listened to about half of that. And in that one, we were talking about YouTube echo chambers and online echo chambers and how it makes people extreme and makes people beliefs extremes and shit. And then in the very next episode, we were talking about it for, for a whole other reason, for a real reason. So insightful. I'm saying that we're psychics. Is what I'm saying is that we can look into the future.
Soothsayers of our generation.
Yeah, something along those lines. I posted so Older is... We've got some advances with Older.
Yeah, we should talk about that.
Yeah, we should talk about Older because Older is doing great at the moment, right? Things are ticking along. So, in LA, we made these connections for the... sales agents. We've been talking to sales agents and getting the deal chatting.
Yeah, so you went to AFM.
Yeah.
Operation
Get Laid in LA.
Yeah, which was just an operational name.
Yeah, strategic
code name, but had nothing to do with what your goal was in LA.
Yes.
Your goal was to sell Older.
To sell Older, yes.
But that was the operational name.
Yeah, the operational code name, for strategic. Secrecy.
Someone also mentioned to me about the podcast the hilarity of the Uber driver trying to talk you out of going to see your ex-girlfriend with a child, with her new boyfriend, and have a cup of coffee with them all.
In her new boyfriend's house.
Yeah. Bro! We can turn around right now, man. You shouldn't do that, bro. That's a bad idea.
Yeah.
Well, I'm committed, all right? I've just paid a $20 Uber fee. I'm committed.
It was way more than 20. It was literally an hour. It was an hour drive in LA in an Uber. I literally Ubered an hour through LA.
Bro, this is a bad idea, man. You gotta get out, man. I'm committed, okay? This is what I want.
He goes, I wouldn't do that, bro. He goes, I can turn this car around right now, man. I wouldn't do that, bro.
I'm committed, okay? I want to see this through. I need some closure.
Well, that's another thing he said. He goes, oh, you're closing the door. You're going to walk away. You're going to close the door. And I was like, yeah, man, you fucking get it. I'm closing the fucking door.
Some might say that the door was closed on you.
But he was saying close the door on that part of it. Put it all away. Put it all away. Go have a visit.
Don't dwell on it.
Don't dwell on it.
Don't think about it every day.
3 more years.
Don't masturbate to your ex-girlfriend's pics.
Well,
don't do any of those things.
Let's not be draconian. We don't have the fucking thought police here. I'm not submitting to that under any circumstances.
Don't fantasize about your ex-girlfriend still 2 years after breaking up with her. Constantly.
What? No.
Don't use her as a fantasy device.
You're taking it too far now, Gary.
In your erotic...
You're taking
your sexual... okay, all right. So don't do that.
Don't do that.
Close the door.
Yeah, all right. So, no, I mean, close the door.
What is this, the thought police?
I mean, get closure. Get closure. That's what it meant. Get closure. And I did. It was nice.
So...
Shout out to she who shall not be named.
Angie.
Because she does listen, and she did tune into that episode where I referred to her husband as a cuckoo that laid his cuckoo's egg in my nest.
Yeah,
not husband, but
future,
baby daddy,
future husband, husband to be. So anyway, Older was so over there.
So back to Older.
Over there, you made that detour to your girlfriends when you're meant to be working. But,
yeah. I took an hour each way Uber to go see her.
Yeah. Sorry, I can't take any meetings.
Yeah.
About this film I'm trying to sell because I need closure with my ex.
If anybody wants to get caught up, go back to listen to the last episode, 151, Bob's and Virgin, and you can hear exactly what we're talking about. So
anyway, you were actually very successful there, and Older was very successful there. We got a bunch of offers, and it's always scary when you put something out and you're like, we've been working on this thing for 6 years. Tyler Adams knows. He's been working on it for 6 years too.
Yeah.
And I keep coming back to him. But we have this thought where it's like, well, when it comes out, hopefully people give a shit. But what if they don't? What if no one, literally zero people give? I've got this kind of new fascination now, this new obsession where I kind of watch bad movies that are recommended to me on YouTube in the background. They're often bad horror films because I'm comparing myself to them. And I'm like, well, these films are being released, with AVOD, advertising video on demand, or whatever it is. Where basically they put a series of ads through these things, and then they generate revenue off that. And that's where a lot of indie films or horror films or all films of a certain budget go to die.
Yeah.
Or go to make money. But that's where they end up. So I'm kind of obsessed with watching these and just comparing what's their production values like? Are they really bad? Maybe this one's good. They're never good.
No.
They're always very student filmy, but they often look okay. But everything else is the script, the acting is sorely lacking. And I think that is one of our big advantages is that we're normally pretty good on that sort of. We really try on that sort of thing. Where some of this, it just seems like that is constantly overlooked, and it's like, man, like the characters just say exactly what the writer was hoping the audience needed to pick up from the scene. Why are you acting so crazy all the time? It's like you're losing your mind and there's something almost possessing you. It's like, what's wrong? What's happened? It's like you're so crazy, you're forgetting everything that you do, almost like you got a split personality or something. Why are you doing that?
Yeah.
So anyway, I do have this obsession, so I'm always kind of looking at this stuff, but I'm always worried that that's Older's fate. Not that it will end up there, because ultimately it will end up there to make money.
It will.
But more that...
Because poor people need to watch shit too.
Exactly.
And those poor motherfuckers who have access to YouTube have to watch it with ads.
Yeah.
But, they still get to watch it.
And that's the thing. And a lot of they're saying that a lot of people are now sort of like, we're sick of paying for Netflix, Disney Plus, Hulu, the new NBC one, the this, the that. And it's like, well, we'll just watch freaking ones with ads.
Yeah.
Like in the old days.
Yeah.
Like TV.
It's gone full circle.
It's actually kind of come full circle. And it's like, well, we'll just watch this thing on this free site. Yes, there'll be ads in it. Whipty fucking shit.
Yeah.
We remember ads from the olden days.
Yeah.
It's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
We can get through this 30-second ad to get through, get back to this shitty horror film.
Because YouTube commercial breaks are much shorter anyway. They're not, or they're skippable. So they're often like 30 seconds or 2 ads. They're not, or like just a couple of, they're not like a big TV break.
No, they're not. It's not like 3 minutes. They're much more strategically implemented, I think. So, so anyway, we've been working on Older. We got a bunch of offers from different sales agents.
Put an ad blocker on.
Yeah.
Which is what I do
when you're watching these.
When I'm watching these low budget films,
comparing yourself to them.
Yeah.
So we got all these offers from sales agents, which is awesome. Like, I don't know. It is possible that we got more offers from Older than for the zombie film.
Right.
It's possible. I don't know.
I reckon that would be a surprise.
Yeah.
To me.
But we definitely got.
If I was there if we had reversed our films.
Yeah.
If Older had come first and we had all the experiences of like selling and distributing a film with Older first. Man. And then now we were coming back with Zombie Holocaust. It's so sellable.
Yeah. Like,
it would be really... I feel like we could get quite a good deal.
Yeah.
Because we'd be coming from quite a strong position, because we'd realize what we have.
Yeah.
What a gem we have.
And so anyway, we've got this sales agent. We have to make a decision. Who are we going to go with? And why? What are the things that we want for this film? And, obviously our goal is to first make back its budget, and then pay back the all the favors that we sort of called in, and then pay the people that helped to make it. Like, that's kind of the thing. And obviously what we want to do is get to the end of that, and then that's a huge success, and also for the film to kind of be passively generating income for us as we go into the next stuff too.
As we age.
As we get older. But so...
Imagine if Older does actually... It's this big runaway smash hit. We actually make heaps of money. And it really does kind of fund our retirement.
Well, I'm just hoping it funds our next projects.
Yeah.
More than our retirement. But yeah, look, that would be amazing. So we have to make that decision, and we're sort of going back and forth on that now, and what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. But part of the things that we've sort of had to do is we also had to make a DCP for Germany, which came as a bit of a abrupt shock.
Yeah.
DCP is a digital cinema package. It's basically what you give to the cinema for them to be able to play it. And we sort of thought that we had till January the 28th to get this in, and they're like, cool, so we're expecting it on December 27th. And this was like 2 weeks before December 27th.
Yeah.
And we were like, holy...
And I only sent that to you because I read the email, and I was like, I thought you knew about the dates.
Yeah.
And then I saw that, and I was like, it's peculiar. And is Guy aware of this? This seems kind of Sudden?
Yeah, and we also completely overpromised because what we said is that we had a digital cinema package when they asked how are we going to screen it. Because I knew that I could make a digital cinema package, but I did not know that I needed to make it immediately, and I also then had to remember how to make one because it's actually kind of a relatively complex process that takes a day, like a sort of a full day to actually make, and then you have to test it. And but it was kind of interesting. So I took this digital cinema package to Event Cinemas in Queen Street, where the guy that runs the projections thing let me do it for free.
I think they call them projectionists.
Yeah. I should really give him a shout out, even though he doesn't listen to the podcast. But anyway, he sort of let us do it for free, where everyone else had quoted like $250. And so that was really good.
And how'd it look?
It looked great. And that's what he said too. He goes, wow, this looks amazing. And I was like, he goes, what did you shoot it on? And we were like, the Canon 5D Mark III. And he's like, whoa, shit.
Yeah.
That looks really good.
Yeah, well, that's good.
And
the feedback has all been very, very positive from the sales agents as well regarding the production values. Everyone's like, wow, it's really well put together.
which just goes to show that, like, if you sort of come with a plan and a way to sort of, like, how you're going to get your production value, like, what is your strategy to making a lot with a little, and you really carefully think about that beforehand, you have a good chance of achieving that. If you're experienced vets like ourselves. So anyway, I watched it in the cinema, and I'm just looking for this guy's name. But I watched it in the cinema. It was the day of the Star Wars, the new Rise of Skywalker or Return of Skywalker or Skywalker's New Hope or whatever it's called. The new Skywalker, the last Skywalker. So it was on the eve of that premiere, which I was going to. And I remember when The Force Awakens came out, which I'm guessing is 5 years ago.
Don't ask me.
The premiere of that, and I remember going to that with my ex-girlfriend 2 times removed. I remember going there because we'd just done some older stuff. And I was like, yep, not going to be long now before I'm seeing this on the big screen, just like this Star Wars movie. And I remember having that thought.
Yep.
And this is how democracy ends, filmocracy ends. Not with a bang, but a whimper. To quote Star Wars The Phantom Menace, or maybe it's actually Attack of the Clones or something with Padme, because I did watch my older in the cinema.
Yeah. Oh, you did? It was just,
by myself.
Yeah, 5 years later.
5 years later, by myself, alone, before whisking it away to Germany.
Well, Guy did invite me to that screening.
What did you say to that?
Well, I said it was a bit crack-a-dawny. It was a little bit crack-a-dawny for me.
You said it was too early for you.
Yeah.
Now, how early is too early?
It's a bit too crack-a-dawny for me.
It was 10:30 a.m.
It's a little too crack-a-dawny for me.
10:30 a.m.
Yeah, want me to get into the CBD, the parking, the parking.
10:30 a.m.
And
he couldn't get his ass up to go and watch the film he's producing.
No, I'm in a deep depression. I can't do anything before noon.
Apparently not.
And then I also said no to the because you also had 2 tickets to Star Wars too.
That night.
That night, you're like, and what do you think, buddy? Old pal.
Go see the new Star Wars
together. Should we go see the new Star Wars? I got tickets to the premiere at midnight. We're gonna be the first people in New Zealand to see it.
And you were like, nah.
I was like, get the fuck out of here, nerd.
Bruce Blakely. Shout out to Bruce Blakely for letting us screen at event. And also big shout out to him because he was the same dude that screened the zombie film in 2014. He goes, I remember your last film that you screened here. And I was like, really? Because I didn't remember him. He goes, yeah. He goes, this is the zombie film.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, we're just like, he's like, I like supporting independent filmmakers. We've got to support our independent filmmakers. He goes, you know who was another independent filmmaker we supported? And I was like, no. He goes,
Taika Waititi?
No, well, basically he goes, Peter Jackson.
Yeah.
He goes, so we got to take care of our filmmakers. And I agree with that, Bruce. So thank you very much for letting us do that.
Shout out, Bruce.
But yeah, so it was quite I guess a humbling experience that's how that initial viewing was. But, to be fair, when you look at your film in a cinema for the first time, it is going to be a test. So it's not going to be in front of a packed house of people ballyhooing and cheering and celebrating. So, but we got that away. I did spend $110 on the courier. That was cool. They said that they could not guarantee it would be there on time.
Oh, God.
That's with the express courier.
They'll be fine, though. The festival will be fine.
They'll be fucking
fine. As in the
fine.
27th, but if it arrives on the 29th, they'll fucking deal with it.
They're
not going to change the website, because we were 2 days too late.
They did ask also for 2 printed posters.
Right. I've got a bunch of posters in the...
but they were specific...
closet there.
Specific dimensions.
Well, these are movie-sized posters.
Well, we could check the dimensions.
Yeah.
And send them a couple.
Yeah.
But I'd rather keep those posters.
Well, I mean, we can always print more. Those are just posters that they're not anything special. They're just what I went out and got printed for.
Well, maybe we should
$150
send those.
bucks.
But they're expensive. Like that's why I don't want to just
exactly,
give them
but we can't just leave
them
them
give them away.
We can't just leave them rotting in my wardrobe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, hey, a few shout outs I wanted to quickly mention as well. I didn't actually get to do my older story just yet, but a few shout outs. Shout out to Cookie, the sexy 160 listener, who broke his ankle recently. I think he's better now, but get well soon. Unfortunately, his job just involves sitting and talking a lot, so he doesn't need his ankles too much. But shout out to Cookie. Jason Combs. Now, he sent me, Jason P. Diddy Combs, when I was in America. So this is going back a little. I haven't had the chance yet. Jason Combs sent me a comic book called Simon Says, and it's set after World War II, chasing down Nazi war criminals. A Jewish, I think he's Jewish, Jewish guy chasing down Nazi war criminals. It's called Simon Says. So thank you for that. I read it. It's signed as well. The guy that created it is signed. It's one of his mates.
What do you think?
That was good. I liked it. Yep, I read it all the way through and enjoyed it. It was good stuff.
He also recommended a film to us, Peanut Butter Falcon, which is based around pro wrestling.
Right.
And I'm very interested in seeing this because I want to make a movie about pro wrestling. And I'm a little bit worried that's the movie I want to make.
Right.
So maybe I'm dragging my feet a little bit on...
Yeah.
Well, actually, I'm dragging my feet on it because I don't watch anything. I have no fucking life. I literally do not have time to watch an episode of something. Haven't seen any of The Mandalorian.
Me either.
Haven't seen any of The Watchmen. Haven't seen anything. The only movie I have seen in the last month and a bit since I was traveling on a plane was this new Star Wars, The Last of the Skywalkers.
Yeah. Well, after the last time I'll pay, I have not gone back.
Which was for the last one, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I haven't finished the trilogy or whatever, but I was like, fuck it, I'm out. I was like, fuck it. No. Ever since I went to Disney, I'm not feeling it. It just feels like fanfic.
Look, I'm not even really disagreeing with you, to be perfectly honest. This is my non-spoiler reviews.
Yeah.
Of the Star Wars. So, the new Star Wars, Rise.
Well, I really don't want to go and watch it, but I probably should watch it.
You have to.
Well, is it a side? Is it like Han Solo? Which is effectively a side story.
It's better than that.
But is it a side story, or is it? Is this the main?
Are
we following the main storyline?
It's the main storyline. This is the last.
This is the Leia and Luke. This is the final thing that's going to tie up everything.
Yeah, this is the last.
Leia and Luke and
Skywalker saga.
Yeah,
the last of the Skywalker saga.
So this is how sort of everything ends. With
this is how democracy ends. Not with a bang, but a whimper.
Yeah, well, I mean, I should check it out, but the thing is that I also got to check out 1917, and I'm working my ass off heading into the new year, so I'm probably not checking out anything.
So Rise of the Skywalker. What is my takeaway? Well, there's been a lot of discussion online. You know, obviously, you're always gonna, if you're trying to wrap up a 40-year thing.
Yeah.
There's gonna be people that are gonna have issues.
Yeah.
You know, there's gonna be
there's people that have issues anyway.
There's gonna be some Twitter warfare.
Yeah.
The wars aren't waged on land anymore.
On land and air
They're
and
only
sea.
they're waged on Twitter.
Yeah.
That's where we have wars
That's what Churchill would say nowadays. He'd be like, "We will fight them on the beaches. We will fight them on the fields. We will fight them on Twitter.
On the Twitter.
On the Twitter.
On the Twitter.
We will fight them on the Twitter.
And maybe on the Reddit subgroups or whatever. Subreddits. Perhaps if our comments are rated high enough. I don't know.
Yeah, you get enough thumbs up or whatever it is.
We're looking for some thumbs up on Reddit. So anyway, Rise of the Skywalker.
Yeah.
It's been divisive.
Well, I didn't even get to tell my older story yet.
Well, just tell your older story, then we'll get to Rise of Skywalker.
I want to talk about
So,
older,
right,
and then he goes on his big rant about older, and then straight into Star Wars.
Okay, well, off we go then. older story. Here we go.
No, well, I just wanted to talk about how I've I don't have my notes ready, and how I've and how I posted the credits list for older on the internet, because basically we need to make sure that everybody's happy with their credit and that type of thing. And the last thing we want to do is miss somebody that we've promised a credit to, or that has worked on the show, or is sort of deserving of a credit or whatever. And the thing is that you've got to draw the line somewhere. But
you sure do.
So I posted it on the Facebook page so that everybody could check it. And there's just a cat being eaten outside our window at the moment, but don't worry about that. By a dog, by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, I posted the credits list on the older page so that people can check their credit to make sure that they've got it. And the thing is, you've got to draw the line somewhere on who is going to get a credit. You can't you do a shot of 30 people in a bar. You can't credit every single person in that bar. No. Even though they came along and gave us their day, you still don't give that person a credit. And it's not like that we're being dicks here. It's that's the industry. The industry are being dicks. Yep. And the way they do it is that they don't credit the extras. So if you watch Shortland Street, and watch the credits, you're not going to see any credits for the extras. And same with Avatar. I was in Avatar, and yet I'm not credited. I'm not on the IMDb. And so that's just the way it works. You just don't credit the extras, But so I posted it, and suddenly all these extras were like tagging, asking for a credit and like tagging their mate in it and stuff, and going, "Hey Bob, aren't you the guy that stands near the door?" And all that type of thing. And it's like, I don't remember having that trouble when I posted the Zombie Holocaust credits list, back in the day. Why? Because they were deleting people?
Because we credited all the extras.
Oh, we did credit the extras, didn't we?
And it actually created a big problem
for us. So we did it, and it did create a big problem, and it made the movie way longer.
But yeah, because essentially it added like 3 minutes or something to the credit sequence.
I forgot about that. I should have said that in my excuses to these people.
It added 3 minutes to the credit sequence, which adds 3 minutes to the movie, which actually put our movie over 100 minutes, which you don't really, when people are looking at run times and their short attention spans in the world we live in, you don't want them to go, 100 minutes, can't do it.
Yeah. Well, that's me. That's exactly what I do.
And also, not only that, but we actually had to go back to the guy scoring the movie and go, "Hey, bro, I know that you think that you're finished on this film, but can you write an extra 3 minutes of free music for us?
Yeah.
For these extras, in the credit list that is making our movie too long, please."
Yeah.
And anyway, it just wasn't good.
But we did promise that to them.
Yes, we did.
Which is why we came through with it.
We didn't promise that.
Did we not?
No, we just decided, or maybe not me specifically, decided to do it out of the kindness of our hearts. Oh. I will say that it is way more valid on the zombie film because those extras went through fucking hell. Like, absolute hell. Like, I remember that, like, they were drenched in blood. They were freezing their ass off at, like, sort of midnight in these bushes. And all the crew was just, like, sitting around having a coffee, having a soup. And they were all just freezing their nuts off, sitting on a log. And I was like, can we maybe just offer them some stuff? You know, like, because they're actually the ones really in a lot of pain right now. And they're doing it for free. And everyone's like, whoa, you can't, I mean, that's the crew's food. You can't really give that to them. What's going to happen now, you know? Cats and dogs living together, total anarchy. But so, and I can't remember, I think we did offer them some hot drinks after that, because they were literally dying. Like, I believe an extra dropped dead of hypothermia at one point. He just fell over.
They were meant to be undead, but they were just dead.
And the crew just dragged them away, make no comments about it, sort of thing.
We just used them as props, actually.
So
afterwards.
I definitely see, and like
then we hiffed them down a bank.
And so there's the thing is, and they're wallowing in the mud. Like, some of them were just put through, like, it was like, cool, just writhe around on the mud, writhe around. You're eating someone. Yes, it's cold and damp and horrible. Yes, we've got to do this for the 10th time because someone looked up at the camera. Thank you. You're eating someone. You're dead. You're undead. You're eating someone. So anyway, I do kind of. It is a different proposition because some of these extras came back every day. You know, there was some stalwarts,
heaps of overnight shoots as well.
Where, you know, and without those extras, the film would really not be watchable.
Sure, but okay, so we can't normally, credit everybody.
Yeah.
But that does explain why I don't remember it happening when I posted the Zombie Holocaust credits.
Yeah.
But yes. So if you were an extra in shot, you know, like, to be clear, if you worked on the film or enabled us in some way, please get in touch if your credit is not correct. That's not a problem. But if you were an extra in shot, unfortunately, we can't credit you all. There's literally hundreds of you. The cutoff is usually if you have, like, dialogue or you're particularly featured.
Yeah.
You know, if you sort of auditioned for the role and were brought in specifically type thing, and, you know, maybe do some talking. Basically, if you do some talking, you'll get a credit usually. So... Yes.
No talking, no credit.
Yeah, you got it. That is what I wanted to say about Older.
So, Rise of the Skywalker. The Rise of Skywalker. The Return of Skywalker. The Last Skywalker. Skywalker Strikes Back. All right? This is the new film. We've been waiting for it for 40 years. What is the final review? Well, it was pretty good. That's my review. It was pretty good. I'm not going to get into spoilers. There was definitely, you know, like, there's two camps, right? There's the people that, like, love The Last Jedi because they're like, oh, it's so bold and it went in so many different directions and, you know, it really took us out of our comfort zone. And then there's people that were like, we hate The Last Jedi for those specific reasons. Like, that is exactly why we hate it. It was inconsistent with the rest of the trilogy. Lots of the things didn't make sense. The characters were doing dumb shit. I think, and then they're like, and these new ones, it's too much fan service, it's too much nostalgia, it's too much playing up to the fans, like, you know, when we should be challenging the fans. The answer is probably somewhere in between. Last Jedi did have heaps of dumb shit in it. There was heaps of dumb stuff that didn't really make that sense, just like the new one.
I don't even like the new ensemble, though.
The new one has heaps of dumb shit in it, too. Like, they both have dumb shit in it in different ways. They are both not perfect films. They are both inconsistent to some degree and are somewhat lackluster. These are not the classic Star Wars trilogies, well-rounded, well-thought-out characters that do things that at least make sense to some degree. You know, what we're watching now is far more popcorny. You know, what we're watching now is far more sort of like, oh, hey, don't think about it too much. Here's another explosion. Don't worry about it. Explosions. Hey, let's have a conversation. We both shout at each other this important exposition. Cool. Little joke. We're out of here. And that is very much the new one.
So you're saying that I thought you were saying that I should probably watch it.
I think it's well,
but now it sounds like I really shouldn't watch it.
Well,
it sounds like just like the other ones.
It is just like the other. It is just like the other ones.
I don't like the ensemble, the cast.
Well,
I don't really like them. I did
yeah.
watch that lead guy. The guy.
Yeah.
He's like some sort of soldier boy. He's a pilot, maybe.
John, the stormtrooper or the other guy.
Not the stormtrooper. He's like a rogue. He's like a lovable rogue.
Yeah, the replacement Han Solo character.
Replacement Han Solo. Yes.
Yeah.
So he, I did watch him recently in a film, a Netflix film about capturing Adolf Eichmann from the Nazi, one of the architects of the Holocaust.
Yeah.
He was good in that, but I was also I don't know. I'm not really big on him in Star Wars, or the girl in it, woman,
Rey.
Rey. I'm not big on Rey. I'm like, well, you ain't no Leia, right? She certainly ain't no Leia. She certainly ain't no Padme, right? You know,
from a erotic fantasy point of view, or
just in terms of a character I'm willing to invest in. You know, that's all I'm saying. Just in terms of character that I'm willing to invest in.
Physically,
I'm more of a
emotionally,
Leia and Padme guy.
Yeah. Look, I think, you know, and this has been a criticism, is essentially they got these characters together in the first one. Then in The Last Jedi, they kind of fucked them all off into different places. And then in the third one, you kind of go, hey, you love these characters, right? You're all invested because they're all connected and you love them. And it's like, well, we don't because they haven't really spent any fucking screen time together. So now you expect us to care. And it's like, well, you should have done a better job with the second one in the way that Empire Strikes Back brings everyone together. And so I think, you know, all of those criticisms are valid. Neither of them are perfect films. I do think this is, you know, definitely slightly better and slightly more true of Star Wars than the last one, but not really by much. You know, is it better to be paying nostalgia fan service or going in new fucked up directions? I don't know. I don't think either's good. I think both are kind of missing the point of what the original Star Wars was. So that's my review. I did love, and this is not a spoiler, it's in the trailer, it's in everything. I did love Palpatine being back. Did love that. Palpatine is one of the best characters. Palpatine is the shit. Now, regardless of the explanation of how he's brought back. I assume
the original actor's like long dead, right?
No, of course he's still in it.
So he's still in it?
Yeah. So, because what happened is, in Return of the Jedi, he was basically super aged up. He was just like 40.
Yeah.
Now, he's literally no makeup.
Yeah.
He's just that age.
Yeah.
He's just a husk of a human being now.
Yeah.
Absolute power! Help me, Anakin! Anakin! I can't hold him. Anyway, that's my, yes. So anyway, one of my favorite characters. So it was lovely to see him back. But again, did it make sense that he was back? Absolutely not. Absolutely made no sense. It was kind of speaking to the little boy in me who that little boy in me who loved seeing this older gentleman return and provide me with a lot of entertainment.
Yes. Got it.
But it was good to see him back. I think that they kind of tied everything together maybe as well as they could in essentially making a sort of a set of sequels that were never necessary or intended to be made. Would have loved to see the George Lucas take. But we will never know.
Well, the thing is that the George Lucas take, like the prequels weren't so great.
No,
right?
they weren't.
Like they were fine. But I prefer the prequels to all of these new ones. Like these Disney ones, I prefer the prequels to all of them. But they weren't as good as the originals.
No.
But they were pretty good. They're pretty good.
I think you still need to rewatch them.
Well, I was pretty okay with them. I've always said that. People were like poo-pooing all over them, and I was like, the only one I didn't like was, I think it was the second one. Right. It was a bit lovey-dovey for a bit, and I was like,
frolicking in the grass.
Yeah, and I was like, well, this is lame. But
force levitating a CG apple for you to eat.
Yeah. Well, you know, and all that stuff was pretty lame to me when I watched it at my youthful age. But, you know, that's not that bad. They kind of need that stuff to establish the love between Anakin and Padme. Otherwise, you know, what's it all about? Who gives a shit?
I mean, and to be honest, that is the kind of the criticism of the new ones. is that they like, you know, like as cringy as all that shit was, at least you got that he really fucking he really
was really into it.
He had a full on boner for this girl.
Yeah.
And it was maybe gonna make him do some destructive things later on.
He was going to murder some children later on.
Yeah, and then it was all cause and effect.
Yeah.
Whereas in this one, you're like, well,
It was her fault.
there's no cause because we just don't know what the fuck. All these people are just not even connected.
Yeah.
So you know.
Also, this new emo Darth Vader, nah.
Oh, you mean that? Well, he's in Rogue One.
Is
Emo
he?
Darth Vader.
Oh, is he not in this? Is this not one
Oh,
of his
no,
stories?
sorry. Oh, you are talking about Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling this.
I think he was actually maybe one of the stronger characters in this one.
Yeah.
Emo Darth Vader. Yeah, because you could at least see.
He's just such a poor man's Darth Vader, you know? And
But
he's in the shadow of Darth Vader.
Yep.
And it just does not, he fails to get out of that shadow.
But I think that's kind of the point.
Yeah.
And that's what makes his character a little bit interesting because he is he's like, I want to be this badass like Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Except I'm all emo. I have all these feelings and I'm conflicted and I'm kind of good and I'm kind of bad. And like that is actually interesting from a character dynamic. And it continues to be kind of interesting in this next one because it's like, man, I'm trying to be this fucking thing that I'm not really. And I've done all this horrible shit to be this thing. And it still ain't working for me. And that is kind of interesting. Because, you know, if you were going to kind of follow in the footsteps of these dudes, inevitably you would be the lesser version of these dudes. So, you know, I'm all right with that. But it is also like one of those things where they kind of go, hey, you know that the last episode that you just watched that we didn't write and had nothing to do with? Hey, fucking forget all about that, all right? Just fucking forget it, right? It means nothing. This fucking means nothing. This is kind of like a 2-movie thing. Skip the second one. You don't actually need to know too much, all right? Apart from we killed Luke Skywalker, you motherfuckers.
All right, okay. So, before you get too riled up about this
Before I
situation.
fly into a nerd rage about Luke Skywalker again, which I have done on previous episodes of the podcast, I don't remember which one, but I have flied into a rage, so I won't repeat that.
Yeah. All right, so the other day, I shared a post about this very podcast saying, but what I did was I posted it on my story as well as on my newsfeed, and in the story I said, all I'm saying is the Guy and Harley podcast is the best podcast in the world, or something to that effect. Now, I got a message from, I got a reply when I posted that from a young lady. Now, I've met this lady several times in real life. I know who she is. She is, I mean, I don't know her age, but I guess she's like 22 or something like that.
Sweet.
Yeah. So the other day I shared this podcast in my newsfeed and my story, and she messaged me to say that you, Guy Pigden,
Yes.
are hot.
Yeah, boy.
That you are a hottie.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck am I? You know, you fucking
What am
chopped
I?
liver? What are you calling me up to tell me that Guy's hot for? What the fuck is wrong with you? Okay, he's got a girlfriend for crying out loud.
Yeah.
You know, you can't suck dick for shit. You know, forget about that bum.
Yeah.
But she then told me that she has daddy issues.
Ooh.
And that I'm too young for her.
Ooh.
So
I'm older looking.
So at this point, I somewhat gleefully explained that I'm actually older than you.
Yeah. With great joy.
With great joy. With great relish.
With great vim and vigor.
For the first time in my life, I bragged about how I'm older than Guy by a month.
Yeah.
So she did think that, and she said her last boyfriend was 46. Now, obviously, she kind of thinks that you're somewhere in the vicinity of 46, and that I'm.
So this compliment has gone south.
This compliment has gone a little bit too south.
Yeah.
Evidently, you're in your 40s. Yeah. I told her the secret. Well, I told her that I'm a total daddy. And thank you very much.
Yeah.
And that the secret is sunscreen and lots of water. That's the secret.
You also said that you can provide for her and that perhaps you should catch up sometime for a drink.
Yeah. Well,
You cock blocked me. on a message that I never received until this podcast.
Well, no, I haven't asked her out for a drink.
Yet.
No, I haven't. Yet. So it's all a bit pointless, though, really, if you think about it. Because of my back injury, which is still not healing. I did go to the specialist the other day, but
What did he say?
Well, so basically, all is well. But that he reckons it'll be 4.5 more months before I'm
Damn.
Yeah, and I'm at 3 months now. And they said initially the physio said like 3 to 5 months. And that seems about right. 3 months, I noticed a lot of good recovery stuff, and there's lots of things that are better right now, but I'm definitely, the army wouldn't accept me, that's for sure.
No.
And I can't really get around quickly, and so all this dating and so on is a bit pointless, really, because of the injury. Because if A leads,
you can't deliver.
I can't exactly. If A leads to B and B leads to C and C leads to the D, then I'm gonna give her the oldest, the lamest old man sex.
Yeah.
Like she say.
Watch it.
Careful of my back. Careful of my back.
Just be careful there. Thank you. Slow it down a little bit. Thank you.
So she says she likes older men, but wait until she's lying there experiencing the lackluster thruster of my semi-soft grandfather cock. Let's see how much she likes daddies then. as she runs her fingers over my bald head and down through my sweaty back hair before I meekly ejaculate inside her, fart and fall asleep, leaving her full of remorse in my mediocre progeny. I actually think she'll walk away from that experience with a new appreciation for young men.
The youth.
Yeah, vigor.
She's like, you know what? I'm over this phase of my life right now.
Yeah, this
You
daddy
really
thing.
cured me. You really cured me of this thing.
I would like to point out, though, that is a service I'm willing to provide.
Whoa. Oh, okay. Just take it easy a little bit there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, look, injuries are a problem. If you are hoping to impress people with your sexual prowess, or at least not disappoint them. So cool. So what? So you're just gonna put a ban on sex now for the next 4 months, or what?
Well, I'm more just like, let's take it as it comes,
Take it easy. Hey, take it easy.
I'll just take it as it comes,
And make excuses afterwards.
Statistically, it's unlikely to happen.
Not with that. Well, not with that attitude, Harley. Not with that attitude. Dropping out of Marvel movies, now you're dropping out of having sex.
Yeah.
With a sore back.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying that I'm saying no. I'm just saying that it would not be good.
Well,
that's all I'm really saying.
It depends what their favourite position is.
Shout out Jeremy Housen, by the way, on the live stream.
Good to see
You're just in time to talk about what my favourite position is.
Yeah.
What were you talking about?
No, your favourite position with a sore back. I'm guessing them on top.
Well,
they're doing everything.
Yeah.
You're static.
Yeah.
You're stationary.
Well, that is the only time I can relax as well, when I'm actually lying on my back. That's probably when I'm most
comfortable. So
comfortable.
if that's their favourite position, you're good.
So that works, yeah.
So you go like at the beginning, you go, so what's your favourite position? And they go, something. And you go,
they go like, I like the downward dog.
And you're like, cool. Well, let's not do that. But how about good old on top?
How about some missionary? And you know how I'm really old and bald and hairy?
Yeah.
Let's turn off the light. Let's have a missionary in the dark.
Let's not scare you right off the bat.
Let's make it missionary in the dark.
How's that sound?
And afterwards, let's go to sleep quite quickly.
Let's not talk. Let's really just pass out. This is really not have a cool discussion afterwards. But let's just start. Let's just start snoring like quite loudly. Let's really start snoring like overly loudly for you to get to sleep. How about that? How does that sound? Old man sex.
Yeah. That's what I've got on offer at the moment.
Cool.
Yeah.
As opposed to lazy man sex, which is
what
what
I
you were
used to
offering
have.
prior to this back injury, which was not much better, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I attended a trendy party a little while ago with a local gang of left-wing celebrities. Tim Batt was there, famed New Zealand comedian. Chloe Swarbrick, I didn't actually see her there, but
Tim Batt of the podcast,
the
worst movie ever or something like that.
Yeah, the worst idea ever. And they rewatch the same movie every episode
And think of new funny things to say about it, and notice new things.
Yeah,
It's actually like hell if you think about it.
Yeah,
Because I think they picked Grown Ups or Grown Ups 2, and then they moved on to, because they do it for like a year.
Yeah,
Every fucking, I don't know if it's every day or every week.
Can't be every day. They'd be too busy to do it every
Yeah,
day.
no, it must be every week, once a week. And then they did it with Grown Ups 2, I believe, and then they did it with Sex and the City 2. And I think that was a real struggle for them.
Yeah.
Because Sex and the City 2 is long, and it's much worse than either of the Grown Ups films, which are not that great.
Right. Yeah.
So, imagine, like, at a certain point, like, after you've done that, I mean, if you're doing that 52 times a year, there's some psychological scarring going on. So, but anyway, you're at this trendy party.
Well, that was it really. Just that I was at a trendy party with people that were cooler than me. It was like I'd gone up a level.
Did people ask you what you did?
Well, I didn't really talk to them.
You didn't really talk to anyone there.
No, I had baked these special cookies. These special weed cookies.
I think people got that reference, but thank you for clarifying.
Thank you for clarifying for the man from the police.
Who's going to arrest you now?
Who otherwise wouldn't have understood what you meant.
Yeah.
So I made some of those special weed cookies.
Yeah.
And I ate one immediately prior to going to the party. So what that meant was they weren't very strong. They were quite nice, and it was just very not too bad. But I was not like, man, I want to like run around and talk to a whole bunch of strangers. I was like, man, I'm pretty cool just to sort of sit here and chill, and whoever talks to me, cool. So I did talk to a few people, but I wasn't on full network mode. I was actually couldn't really be fucked going, to be honest. I more went because I was like, well, this is a chance to socialize with kind of like some quite cool and trendy folks and be seen at sort of a small kind of more informal gathering.
Yeah.
So I was thinking from networking perspective.
And you were thinking that you were cool and trendy, and so this party made a lot of sense.
Exactly. Well, I just want those people to think that I'm one of those cool, trendy people. These people have street cred, which I don't have.
All right. Well, what else is going on? Because I actually do have work this evening.
Well, I think that we can probably wrap it up.
Yeah.
But Happy New Year. We won't get one in before the New Year comes. So Happy New Year. Happy 2020. It has been. Happy Merry Christmas. I hope it has been. What was I going to say? 20 episodes. This is the 20th episode of 2019. Which is good because last year we only did like 19 or 18 or something like that. So Liam here will be happy with that.
Yeah.
Happy New Year. We will do a new episode in the new year and talk about our New Year's resolutions and stuff. Do you have anything you want to kind of add or talk about there?
Well, I mean, I do certainly have some New Year's plans. I don't know if they're really resolutions.
I was thinking last night what I was like, man, what am I going to try and achieve in 2020? What are we going to do here?
It'll be an interesting year next year.
It will be because Older will come out and Immi the Vegan should come out. Yep. I'd certainly hope it would come out.
Yep.
And so those are both kind of quite big projects that could open doors for us if we're lucky.
And perhaps the documentary as well may come out as well.
Yep.
So that's three huge kind of things that have been in various periods of gestation for long periods of time.
Do you think it's unrealistic to set $100,000 or something like that? Or maybe not. Let's not specify a number, but securing funding for a third feature film in the year 2020.
I don't think it's outside the realms of possibility, or perhaps securing a second season. a funded second season of Immi the Vegan of a similar budgetary nature.
Yeah.
So I think all of those things are very possible. I in fact, we haven't really talked about this, but with Immi the Vegan, who is my co-writer, we have finished the first draft of what could be our next feature film, The Family.
Yeah.
Have you read that yet, Harley?
Not the film. No, not the script.
Right.
I read the 40-something page, outline, but I haven't read the new script yet.
Is that so?
Well, what is there a big fucking? Has someone given us $100,000? Has someone got $100,000 for us or something? Are we going into production? Should I start learning my lines? What's the fucking rush?
I'm just saying, it might be a good idea to read the script that you may be spearheading.
Well, the thing is that I do need to read it so that I can send it to all the people I met in LA.
Yes. Because really what we want now is for that script to start doing some work for us.
We didn't even get the chance, I don't think, to talk about the New Zealand Film Commission party in LA, which is where I met, and I don't think we spoke about that either, was I met Mark Ordesky, the guy that produced the Lord of the Rings films, the first three original Lord of the Rings, all three Lord of the Rings films, and also introduced Jackie Chan to American audiences with Rumble in the Bronx.
Classic Jackie Chan film,
if I'm not mistaken, or something on those lines. And so I bumped into him, and I gave him my pitch for our projects, including The Family, and an idea of the budget and stuff, and my card and that, and he gave me his card, and he said, cool, well, email me. So I emailed him the spiel, and he did not reply to me. So now
interesting.
I need to follow up, because that's how this works. So now I got to follow up, but now I can follow up with a full script.
Yeah,
and I
boy.
can go, g'day, Mark, just following up on that. That
great to meet you.
Prior email, great to meet you at the New Zealand Film Commission party. You remember me. Here's the full script, and here's the summary of the shit I sent you last time. And how's it going? Any chance of $100,000?
P.S. If you want to laugh, here's a link to our gay Lord of the Rings parody on YouTube.
People should go and check that out. It's called The Calling of the Ring. So if you search Pigville, The Calling of the Ring, and you start at episode 1 and you finish episode 4, you'll be fine. It's a good show. It still stands the test of time. Episode 3 is my favorite. Episode 3 is the darkest one.
Yeah. What happens in isn't there 4 episodes?
There's 4. In episode 4 we fight Shelob.
That's right.
In episode 3, Gollum. Someone catches up on us and steals the ring off my finger, Frodo's finger, while he's sleeping, and then masturbates onto Frodo's face.
That's your favorite one.
While they're invisible.
I actually kind of forgot what happened in that.
But you got to watch it. No, but what's brilliant about it is how seriously Frodo and Sam take it.
Yeah.
And how Sam is overtly lying to Frodo's face, and Frodo buys it all, but the audience obviously doesn't. It's genius. It's genius stuff. If you go check it out. The Calling of the Ring. It's genius stuff.
I mean, you have given some spoilers there.
Well, I mean, obviously, but
a lot more happens than that.
Heaps of stuff happens. And we're fighting Shelob, for crying out loud. The production values through the fucking roof.
Yeah.
So it's on our YouTube channel. Go search
full on animatronic Shelob.
Pigville and the number 2, and you can find us on YouTube.
That what we created an animatronic Shelob, a puppet Shelob, specifically for this shoot. And it is something to behold.
So go check that out. All right, we are going to go now. So, thank you very much for listening. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. We will see you early in the new year of 2020. If you want to support us, go to patreon.com/Pigville. You can give us money via PayPal if you have our email address, which is pigvilleproductions@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/Guy and Harley, and we'll keep you updated with all of our bits and pieces. And shout out to Alistair White, by the way. because he shared something on Facebook about us a wee while ago. Shout out Alistair, and also shout out to Adam St. John, who said regarding the Uber driver in LA, he said, and going to see my ex, he said, I couldn't have done that. So yeah, shout out to him. So yes, thank you very much for listening. We'll catch you all next year.
All right. See you later.